It's one of the most ordinary names you'll ever hear. Jack. Just 4 letters. No pretense, no fluff. The kind of name you don't notice until you realize that it's everywhere. Jack was never meant to be a name at all. The earliest form of Jack was not Jack. It was John. In medieval England, John was so common that it started to spawn nicknames. First, Jenkin, then Jankin, then Jackin. Over time, Jackin was shortened, and by the 13th century, Jack had split off entirely as its own name. It was kind of an everyman moniker, used so broadly that it began to lose personal identity and instead became cultural shorthand. Jack of all trades, Jack in the box, lumberjack, steeplejack, union jack. The word took on a job, literally. By the 1500s, Jack meant any laborer or male servant. A device to lift weights? Call it a jack. A sailor's flag? That's a jack too. When pirates raised the Jolly Roger, it was often painted onto what was officially called a jack staff. The name had left the person behind, and it became a function. There's a deeper twist here. The United States military still uses Jack as shorthand for sailor or enlisted man. In 1942, a Navy directive officially defined blue jackets as basic personnel under command. Even today, a junior seaman is usually called a jack in internal jargon. The word even became a trickster. Jack pops up in English folklore again and again. Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack the Giant Killer, Little Jack Horner. It's always the same archetype. Clever, low-born, underestimated. The kind of character who outsmarts kings and monsters. Jack wasn't just a name anymore. He was an idea. A symbol of the common man who bends the world to his will through wit and not birthright. And then the strangest twist of all. By the late 19th century, Jack had looped back around and become a first name in its own right. No longer a nickname. And on legal documents, birth certificates, and gravestones, it was just Jack. No John, no derivative. Just the word itself, standing alone like a flag on a staff. Statistically, Jack has never left the stage. It was the #1 boy's name in England in multiple decades. In the United States, it peaked at number 14 in 1930, dropped, and then surged again in the 2000s. It's currently ranked in the top 25. And in Australia, New Zealand, and Ireland, Jack has held the #1 spot for years at a time. It's global, but it still feels local. The dual nature of the name, both individual and generic, it's quite rare in English. Jack is a boy, but it's also a labor, a flag, a tool, a prankster, a fairy tale character, a term of trade. There's no other name in the English language that's carried so many hats and worn them all convincingly. There's a kind of humility in Jack. It does not announce greatness. It doesn't try to be rare. But somehow, it always manages to show up when something important happens. And that's not coincidence. That's legacy. A name that outgrew the man and became part of the language itself. These are Interesting Things with JC.